Greetings, fellow travelers. Welcome. This Wisdom Wednesday, we delve into the profound realms of intuition and spiritual sight. Two distinct yet interconnected aspects of our inner vision. As we explore these dimensions, we aim to clarify their differences while uncovering how they guide and shape our perception of the world and ourselves. Intuition is often described as an internal compass, a sense of knowing that arises without conscious reasoning. It operates like a silent whisper, pointing us in certain directions based on patterns and knowledge stored deep within our subconscious. This innate guidance is informed by a combination of personal experiences, emotional insights, and learned wisdom. However, intuition is not infallible. Like a compass, it can be skewed if its foundation, the magnetic field of our inner world, is distorted by unresolved trauma, misinformation, or limiting beliefs. If the database of our subconscious is filled with fear, negativity, or faulty assumptions, our intuitive nudges might reflect these distortions rather than objective truths. For example, someone who has faced betrayal may interpret neutral actions as deceptive, while another person who fears failure might intuitively avoid risks that could lead to success. This highlights the importance of cultivating clarity and balance within ourselves. Through self-awareness, healing, and the clearing of emotional baggage, we align our intuition with a more accurate and reliable source of guidance. You might think of intuition as a vibe, a sense or energy we pick up on that resonates with our subconscious understanding. Unlike spiritual sight, which connects to higher realms and transcendent truths, intuition is rooted in our human experiences and innate knowing. It is the feeling of unease when entering a room with tension in the air, or the pull to take a certain path, even without logical explanation. This vibrational quality makes intuition a valuable tool, but it requires discernment. By refining our inner world, we can separate genuine intuitive insights from echoes of past fears or conditioning. Spiritual sight transcends the physical senses and mental constructs, allowing individuals to perceive truths that remain hidden from the ordinary eye. This extraordinary ability has often been called a gift, a curse, or even an anomaly, depending on how it has been used or understood within cultural and societal contexts. At its core, spiritual sight is a connection to the unseen realms, realms of energy, spirit, and divine intelligence. Those with spiritual sight may access information, guidance, or vision that defy logical explanation. They can often discern things no one else could know, foretell events, or even reveal hidden truths. These individuals are frequently called seers, prophets, or visionaries when their gifts are honored, but are sometimes labeled with derogatory terms like obeah men and women, witches or sorcerers, when misunderstood or feared. One reason spiritual sight evokes awe and fear alike is its dual potential. Like any powerful force, it can be wielded for good or ill, depending on the intentions of the individual. History and folklore abound with stories of spiritual sight being used to heal, guide, and uplift communities. Yet, there are also tales of its misuse to manipulate, harm, or control. Spiritual sight has long been celebrated in many cultures as a tool for guidance and healing. Indigenous traditions and spiritual systems often revere individuals with this gift, seeing them as wise elders, healers, or shamans capable of leading their communities through crisis, illness, or transformation. However, just as spiritual sight can be used to uplift and heal, it can also be wielded with harmful intent. Some individuals, driven by greed, jealousy, or anger, may use their connection to spirit for destructive purposes. This dual potential creates a profound tension in how spiritual sight is perceived. It isn't the spirit itself that is inherently good or evil. It is the intent of the individual channeling or invoking it. This ambiguity can lead to fear and mistrust, especially when spiritual sight is misunderstood or associated with malevolence. Such fear often overshadows the potential for good, resulting in stigmatization and persecution. Fear of spiritual sight frequently arises from the human discomfort with the unknown and the inability to control it. This fear is compounded by cultural or religious teachings that define spirit in rigid terms, labeling anything outside their framework as dangerous or heretical. Throughout history, people with spiritual sight have been branded as witches, sorcerers, or obeah practitioners, often accused of meddling with malevolent forces. In some cases, these accusations stem from genuine harm caused by individuals who misuse their gifts. In others, they are fueled by misunderstanding, envy, or societal attempts to suppress spiritual autonomy. This dual narrative of spirit as both a source of healing and harm creates a complex dynamic. While spiritual sight can reveal hidden truths and provide profound guidance, it also requires discernment and a moral compass to ensure its use aligns with principles of love and integrity. Fear of spiritual sight often arises from a combination of factors that go beyond its perceived unpredictability. At its core, this fear stems from a lack of in-depth knowledge among the general population, which leaves many susceptible to misunderstandings and myths about the nature of spirit and its workings. This lack of understanding is further compounded by the absence of universally agreed upon ethical standards or accountability for practitioners. Without clear guidance or systems to regulate the use of spiritual sight, people may feel vulnerable to those who misuse it for selfish or harmful purposes. The resultant mistrust creates a climate where spiritual sight is viewed with suspicion, even when it is intended for good. Moreover, spiritual sight challenges conventional worldviews and societal norms. It operates in realms beyond the tangible, calling into question the reliability of physical evidence and logic that most people depend on. For those unprepared to engage with these deeper layers of existence, the power and potential of spiritual sight can feel overwhelming or threatening. These intertwined elements, misunderstanding, lack of regulation, and the challenge to establish norms, fuel the complex and often contradictory attitudes towards spiritual sight. This fear is not an unchangeable part of human nature. It can be lessened through education, open dialogue, and the establishment of ethical frameworks that prioritize integrity and respect for free will. People fear what they cannot control or fully comprehend, and spiritual sight fits squarely into this category. When someone possesses knowledge or insight that seems impossible to explain, it can trigger suspicion or even hostility. Additionally, cultural and religious conditioning has played a role in stigmatizing spiritual sight. In some traditions, any connection to unseen forces is viewed with suspicion, especially if it falls outside the bounds of sanctioned religious practices. This has led to the vilification of spiritual practitioners in certain societies, even when their intentions are pure. To truly understand and embrace spiritual sight, it is essential to approach it with both reverence and discernment. Reverence allows us to honor spiritual sight as a profound gift that unveils deeper truths and connects us to the divine. At the same time, discernment reminds us that not all insights or visions originate from a place of purity or divine truth. By evaluating the source and intent of spiritual messages, we ensure they align with higher principles of love, compassion, and wisdom, fostering clarity and integrity in our spiritual journey. Even in today's world, where science and technology dominate, spiritual sight remains an undeniable phenomenon. Many people continue to seek guidance from those with this gift, whether through personal readings, spiritual counseling, or community rituals. At the same time, skepticism and fear persist, especially when spiritual sight is misrepresented or misunderstood. Though we may not all possess spiritual sight in the traditional sense, every one of us wields immense spiritual power through our thoughts, words, and deeds. This subtle yet transformative energy shapes our realities and impacts the lives of those around us, often without our conscious awareness. Unfortunately, humanity has grown disconnected from this innate spiritual aspect of existence. We have been taught to view our influence as purely physical ignoring the profound energetic ripples created by our intentions and actions. As a result, we wield this power carelessly, acting out of ignorance rather than understanding. This ignorance can lead to unintentional harm, even toward those we hold most dear, as our words and actions carry unspoken vibrations that affect others on unseen levels. In this way, we practice both positive and negative forms of spiritual work, often without realizing it. A loving thought or compassionate deed has the power to heal and uplift, while careless words spoken in anger or fear can wound deeply and irrevocably. This dynamic underscores the importance of recognizing that spirituality is not a separate or distant concept. It is embedded in every interaction, every decision, and every expression of who we are. This disconnection from our spiritual heritage is not just a personal loss. It is a collective crime. By neglecting to educate ourselves and others about the inherent power of spirit, we deprive humanity of tools needed to live with intention, accountability, and love. The knowledge of this heritage has been obscured or dismissed, leaving generations to flounder in ignorance. The result is a world where spiritual power is used thoughtlessly, causing harm that could have been avoided through understanding. Reconnecting with this truth requires an intentional journey of awareness. We must begin by acknowledging that our spiritual selves are not separate from our physical or emotional selves, but intertwined with every aspect of life. By embracing this understanding, we can wield our power responsibly, creating lives and relationships grounded in love, wisdom, and intentionality. As we explore the layers of sight, it is important to honor those who possess spiritual sight, while acknowledging its complexities. It is a tool neither inherently good nor bad, but shaped by the heart and mind of its wielder. When guided by love, integrity, and a commitment to serve, spiritual sight becomes a beacon of light, illuminating paths that might otherwise remain hidden. Thank you for joining me on this journey into intuition and spiritual sight. As we explore these layers of inner vision, may we each cultivate greater clarity, balance, and wisdom. Remember to honor your intuition, refine your spiritual sight, and walk with discernment. But is there more to sight than we have uncovered today? Have we truly seen all there is to see? Perhaps it's time to journey even deeper. Stay tuned for more as we continue to unravel the many dimensions of sight. If this offering resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights every Wisdom Wednesday. Until we meet again, stay guided, stay grounded, and trust the journey within. Be well.